Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to what is hopefully going to be the first reading vlog in a new series on my channel, because this year one of my main goals is to try and reduce my Kindle TBR. So if you saw my entire own TBR video, then you'll know that I have a little bit of a problem and that problem is buying Kindle books. I can't resist a 99p Kindle deal, and so that is how I've ended up with, I think, around 100 unread books on my Kindle. I'll need to double check. I think I've got around 150 books in total on my TBR, and most of those are Kindle books. So yeah, I thought I'd start a new series on my channel this year where I focus on reading those Kindle books, and in particular I'm going to be concentrating on backlist books, so books that were published in 2022 or before. I'm gonna still be reading 2023 releases on my Kindle, but I'm not going to be including them in this specific project. I also saw recently that Ellie from Earl Grey Books is organising a similar reading challenge, which again is all to do with reading Kindle books and audiobooks, I think. I'll leave a link to her announcement video in the description just in case you wanted to find out more, but I think from memory the way that it works is there's going to be a new bingo board with prompts every other month. I think what I'm going to do is some months I'll use the bingo board to pick books to read, and then other months I'll just choose random books that fit the prompts from my TBR game. So the theme for episode 1 is reading 2022 romance releases. So these are all books that I bought last year that were also released last year, and I was so hyped to read them. I just didn't get around to them last year, so I'm quite excited to finally be reading them in this vlog. The first book that I have already started is Honey and Spice by Bolu Babalola. So I have read another book by this author. This is her debut novel, but I read her anthology book, which was called Love in Colour, and I really enjoyed it. I really liked her writing style. The writing in Honey and Spice is a little bit different, but I'm still really enjoying it. We're following a main character called Kiki, who's in her second year of uni, and she runs this very popular radio show where she basically gives relationship advice. It's reminding me a little bit of the film John Tucker Must Die, which was one of my favourite films when I was a teenager, but the love interest Malachi is a bit of a player, and she, the main character Kiki, kisses him at this party, which is a problem because she's just blasted him all over her radio show, saying that he's a player and that people should avoid him, and so now people are accusing her of being a snake and saying that she only said it because she was trying to warn women off him because she wanted him, and it's a little bit of a mess. People are questioning her integrity and her credibility. There's more to the plot than that, but I don't want to say any more just in case it edges into spoilery territory. But yeah, this has been really good so far. It's told in the first person point of view, and I really like Kiki. I really like the humour in this and how it's a warm type of humour. It's very witty. Very excited to carry on reading this and see what direction it goes in. I really like the direction that it seems to be going in. So yeah, have high hopes for this. I've only heard positive things so far. I'll let you know what else I decide to pick up later on in the vlog because I'm on my lunch break, so I need to get back to work. But yeah, welcome to the reading vlog. I'm really excited to be reading romance this week because yeah, I've not been feeling very well the last few days. I think I said in my last reading vlog. So yeah, it's going to be good to chill and read romance for a week.
I'm starting to think that we do things way too differently to take this seriously. And all of the times that we said we go to therapy, but still we never been, yeah. But things don't change, they stay the same. I've gotta go my own way. Yeah, things don't change.
I am am now around 45% of the way through Honey and Spice, and I'm really enjoying it so far. It's putting a huge smile on my face, which is exactly what I want from a romance book. I think this could be a 5 stars. I don't want to jinx it, but at the moment I don't have anything negative to say, so I think it's going to be at least a 4 stars, possibly even a new favourite. I really love the characters and how the chemistry between them feels very natural, and the dialogue between them is flowing really well. I'm really enjoying this. I like that it's fake dating, but it doesn't feel super tropey. So something that bothers me sometimes with fake dating situations is how the main character sometimes, and this is only sometimes, I'm thinking in particular about the love hypothesis. That's the first example that comes to mind. But as much as I love fake dating as a trope, sometimes it does annoy me how the main character refuses to even entertain the idea that the love interest might like them back. And that's not happening with this book. The main character Kiki has a lot of confidence, and she acknowledges that she's attracted to Malachi and he's attracted to her. However, she doesn't think that they're compatible, and I like that. It feels more realistic, and I'm not having to suspend disbelief as much as I have with other fake dating romances. Like, it's plausible, but it's also not 100% realistic, so it still feels like escapism, which I think is why I like fake dating as a trope. I don't think I'm going to finish this tonight. I might try and finish it tomorrow, because on Wednesday I'm going into Birmingham to see Leigh Bardugo, which I'm really excited about. So if I finish this tomorrow, I can start a new book on the train to Birmingham. We'll see how things go though. I don't want to rush this because I am really enjoying it. Hi everyone, it is now Thursday and I haven't updated this vlog in a while because I was waiting until I finished Honey and Spice, which I still haven't finished, by the way. I think I've got around 50 pages left, but I haven't had time to read much over the last couple of days because I've been in the office for work, and when I've been getting home I've been too tired. And then I went to the Leigh Bardugo event in Birmingham last night, which was so much fun. I think I took a little bit of B-roll, which I'll insert into the vlog. But yeah, Leigh Bardugo is so funny. It was really good. I'm really glad that we went. I didn't stay to get my book signed or anything because the queue looked like it was going to be massive. I will let you know anyway once I've finished Honey and Spice, and then I think the next book that I'm going to be picking up is Set on You by Amy Lea, which was really popular on TikTok last year, and I haven't heard the best reviews, but I think it's about a fitness influencer, which sounds intriguing. So yeah, I'll let you know once I have more reading updates. Apologies for being terrible at updating the vlog this week. It's just been a really busy one. So I finished reading Honey and Spice last night, and I think I'm going to give this 4 stars. It's probably nearer to a 4.5, and it came out as a 4.5 in Core Pile, but overall I really enjoyed it. I did have a few issues with the pacing. I felt like it could have been a little bit shorter and it wouldn't have dragged as much, but I would still recommend it, especially if you like a slow burn. This is definitely a slower burn. I think if you're looking for something that's like super smutty, then I wouldn't recommend this because it's not that kind of book. I thought that Kiki's character development in particular was done really well, and I liked how you could see her growth throughout the book. So she starts the book off as a bit of an outsider. Outsider is probably the wrong word, but she doesn't belong to any particular clique. And other than her best friend Amina, she kind of keeps her distance from people, and you start to learn why throughout the book. And yeah, I thought that it was done really well. I really liked the friendship between Kiki and Amina, and yeah, even though Kiki could be annoying at times, not annoying annoying. She was frustrating, but it wasn't in an annoying way. It was more in a realistic way. I think when you're writing an adult book that's set in college, it can be difficult to find that balance where the characters don't feel really immature and annoying, but they also act their age. And I thought that the book did that really well. So yeah, I feel like we've got off to a good start with this vlog, but I have now made a start on the next book that I'm reading for this vlog, which is Set on You by Amy Lea, and I'm not enjoying it as much, but I'm only around 10% of the way in, so I'm gonna give it more time. I've literally read like the first 3 chapters. I do really like the main character though, so we're following this girl called Crystal, who's a mid-size fitness influencer, I think, and she's at the gym one day when this guy steals her workout bench, and it's the workout bench that she usually uses to film her content because the lighting is perfect, and they start fighting basically. It's really petty, and I think that's the problem that I'm having at the moment, is that I do like the main character, but I don't like the love interest. And this is a problem with Hate to Love sometimes, is that sometimes the author does too good of a job making me hate the love interest, which I know is the point, but yeah, I don't like the love interest. I have heard that he's based on Chris Evans, at least in looks, but I feel like I need to give the book a few more chapters before I actually make a decision on whether I'm going to carry on reading, because the writing is fine and I think it has potential. It's just that, yeah, the first few chapters were a little bit jarring. I don't have the best luck with TikTok romances, and this is a book that got popular because of TikTok, so we'll see how things go. I am hoping to read some more this evening and then possibly finish it tomorrow. I don't have any plans this weekend, so my plan is to just read basically. I do need to edit my February TBR though. That's the only thing that I need to do, and I think I'm going to set that live before this vlog because that means that I can extend this vlog for a few days. I want to read 3 books basically for this Kindle Clearout project. Haven't decided on the 3rd book yet though, so I'll let you know once I have decided. So I am now around halfway through Set on You, and I have mixed feelings so far because I like the majority of this book, except for the romance, which isn't great considering that this is a romance book, but I'm really struggling with the love interest. I feel like this book should have been dual POV because I don't really understand why the main character likes the love interest other than I'm being told that she likes him. I'm not feeling like loads of chemistry between them. It's just fine so far. There have been a few scenes that have been quite cute and it's definitely entertaining, but the banter also feels just a little bit forced. What I do really like is that the main character is an influencer, and there's been some discussions around the fitness industry which I found really interesting. Also, I've really enjoyed all the scenes that feature her family. I really like that aspect, and I know that the 2nd book in this series, which is like a companion novel, that follows the main character's sister, who's a book influencer, so I'm definitely going to be picking that up because I do really like the writing. There's nothing wrong technically with the writing, I'm just not really loving it. It's just fine so far. I am now going out this afternoon. I don't think I mentioned that yesterday, but I'm going back to my old house to help clear out the loft, which is full of my junk basically, so it's going to be a busy afternoon, but I'm hoping that when I'm home I can finish Set on You and then start another book tomorrow maybe and finish that within the next few days.
I'm starting to live in the moment while you're on cloud 9. Yeah, just take your time. And all of the matching tattoos, I thought we'd earn them. Shit, are these permanent? But things don't change, they stay the same. I've gotta go my own way. Yeah, things don't change. I've gotta do better than you for me. You're all about you.
So I finished reading Set on You by Amy Lea, and I think I'm going to give this 3 stars. It's difficult because the stuff that I really loved about this book I don't want to talk about because I feel like that might be a little bit spoilery, and at the same time I also think the stuff I really hated would also be spoilery to talk about. So what I will say is that I really liked the way that this book talked about the fitness industry, and especially the difference between body positivity and body neutrality. I really liked that aspect. What I didn't love was how there wasn't really any character development, especially with the love interest. So in the beginning, I really did not like the love interest. However, at a certain point, he suddenly became like the perfect man, but there wasn't any character development. It was literally like a switch had been flicked, and suddenly I was just meant to accept that this guy was perfect, but he hadn't been perfect in the beginning, but there was no crossover period where we were understanding why he'd suddenly changed. So yeah, I didn't love that. I also thought the main character towards the end started to act a little hypocritical, especially when it came to the third act conflict, which, by the way, the Goodreads synopsis for this kind of spoils the third act conflict. So if you are interested in reading this, then I wouldn't recommend reading the synopsis on Goodreads because I'm glad that I didn't. I'm really struggling to explain my feelings on this book without spoilers. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to give it 3 stars. I don't think it was terrible. I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I was expecting. However, I wouldn't go out of my way to recommend it because there was quite a lot that I didn't love. So I'm joining a live show on Abby's channel in around 20 minutes and I feel really nervous. I don't know why. I've done live shows before, so I shouldn't be feeling this nervous about it. I did start another book though this afternoon. I started reading Infamous by Lex Croucher, which is a historical rom-com, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I think I'm only about 10% of the way through, but it's basically following this main character called Eddie, who reminds me a little bit of Eloise from Bridgerton, and she has this best friend called Rose, who she's always been really, really close to. However, now that they're in their early 20s, or pretty much actually as soon as they hit their late teens, Rose started to drift away from Eddie because they were expected to come out in society, as was the case back then. And Rose really thrived in that kind of social environment, whereas Eddie is more introverted. Like I said, I'm not that far into it. However, Rose has just met this guy who might be interested in proposing to her. So Edie or Eddie, I can't actually work out how to pronounce the main character's name, but she is acting a little bit jealous, and I'm guessing the story is going to go from there. So yeah, I'll let you know what I think of it, but so far so good. I haven't read a historical romance in a really long time, so I'm hoping that I do like this. I realised that I keep getting the main character's name wrong because I thought her name was Edie. I can't remember what I actually said in the last update, but her name is actually Eddie. There was a whole scene where she was talking about it with another character, so apologies if I did get that wrong initially, but her name is Eddie, and I don't know how I feel about her yet as a main character because I like that she's an aspiring writer and I like the direction that I think this book is going in. I think what the plot for this book is going to be is that Eddie is going to try and distract herself from the fact that she's in love with her best friend. I don't think she realises that she's in love with Rose, but I think that's the direction that we're going in. Basically, she's met this poet whose name I can't remember, but this guy is like an idol to her, and she gets introduced to all of his artsy friends and becomes immersed in this world of literature, and I'm assuming that she's going to go through some sort of character development at some point, and she's going to realise that not all is as it seems, because Rose has already mentioned that she's not the biggest fan of this new group of friends. But I'm not sure yet, that's just the vibe that I'm getting so far. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I'm only around a third of the way through, but I'm hoping to read a good chunk of this tonight. I don't think I'm going to finish it tonight, but I'm hoping to finish it at some point in the next few days. I don't think I mentioned this, but I actually saw Lex Croucher talk on a panel at Yao Class last year, and that's what made me want to read their books. I haven't read Reputation yet. I don't know if I did mention that. I haven't edited the last clip for this vlog yet, so I can't remember what I said last night when I was really tired. But I haven't read Reputation yet. I have heard mixed things about it, but I like that this book seems to have Lex Croucher's humour, or at least the humour that I remember from that panel at Yelp, and that's why I wanted to pick up their book. So yeah, I'm excited to carry on reading this. I do think that I am gonna like it. I also had a parcel arrive, just which I thought I would open on camera because I can't remember what I ordered. But basically I noticed that Joni had a discount code last week where you could get 25% off, and they're my favourite clothing company, so I thought I would take advantage, even though I definitely don't need any new clothes. But I can't remember what I ordered. I think I ordered a new jumper, which isn't, the colours on this aren't what I was expecting them to be. They look a little bit darker than they did on the website, but I thought this would be a cute little jumper for like spring when it's still cold, because these little flower things remind me of spring. I feel like this is a good spring jumper and it's really good quality. I've got a few jumpers from Joni and yeah, they are really good quality. They're thick but still soft. The other top that I got was this shirt, which I thought would be quite cute for work and stuff, but it's got this instruments pattern on it. It's like violins and trumpets and stuff, and I thought that would be really cute with like jeans or with like a jumpsuit over the top, dungarees over the top. That's the word that I was looking for. But yeah, I thought this would be quite cute for layering and stuff. So yeah, that's my little mini clothing haul. They also sent me a bookmark as well, which I think I've got a few of these now, but Joni do a lot of bookish type clothing, or clothing that has bookish patterns on, or like slogans related to books, so would recommend checking them out if you're interested. I am gonna get back to work because I think I'm almost at the end of my lunch break, but I will catch up with you once I have some more reading updates, probably. I've just realised that my camera battery is about to die, but I wanted to let you know that I'm now almost halfway through Infamous, and I'm getting a little bit bored. I've been really struggling to read it the last few chapters because we're basically following this group of characters who have gone away to this big mansion somewhere and Edie is working on her manuscript because this poet who's called Nash has offered to show it to his agent. So yeah, we're basically following this big group of characters at this mansion, and I feel like the side characters haven't had enough development for me to really care about them. I think Edie is an interesting character. I'm not hating following her. She's a little bit frustrating, but I like Rose, and every time the romance is mentioned, I enjoy that. But then I also had to look up and double check that this is actually a romance because it's been quite light at the moment. So I am here to wrap up this vlog because I finished reading Infamous, and I think I'm gonna give this like a 3.5 stars. It doesn't quite feel like a 4 stars, but I also feel like 3 stars is too low. I really enjoyed it, but I don't think it's gonna stick with me long term. That's the main issue that I'm having and why I'm struggling to work out what I'm gonna rate it. But yeah, I did really enjoy this. I think the romance was probably my favourite thing about it, but the romance was quite small in comparison to the rest of the plot and what else was going on. I really liked as well how I felt drawn into this world. There was this really interesting contrast between the historical setting and this group of characters who are seen as rebels within this time period. Eddie was quite a difficult character to like at times, and I'm the kind of reader where I don't need to love a main character, I just need to find them interesting. However, something that I know about myself as a reader is that I don't like reading characters who are too frustrating, and Eddie was kind of on the border because she was completely clueless and naive, and she was also quite obnoxious at times. Some of the side characters also felt a little underdeveloped, and it was almost like they were just there for background noise, which, yeah, wasn't great. However, there was a character who I absolutely hated with a passion, and I liked that I hated them because I felt they were well written in that sense. Like, they were meant to be unlikable, they were meant to be a bad character. And so I liked that. I liked that I had a character that I hated. What I will say is that if you are in any way sensitive to cheating within books, then I wouldn't recommend picking this up. Obviously, I'm not going to go into spoilers or anything, but yeah, just something that I did want to mention. I think I would read more books by this author. However, I don't know how to recommend this book because I don't think I would recommend it as a romance, even though the romance was my favourite thing about the book. I think I would recommend it more if you generally like LGBTQ+ fiction and you're interested in a book that has a historical setting. I've seen a few people compare it to Jane Austen as well, and even though the only Jane Austen book that I've read so far is Pride and Prejudice, I can kind of see the similarities. It's been a long time since I read Pride and Prejudice, but it was one of my favourite books when I was a teenager, and this did give me a similar sort of atmosphere to that. So yeah, I think if I were to rank all the books that I've read for this vlog, it would come somewhere in the middle, or it would be in the middle because I've read 3 books because I didn't like it as much as Honey and Spice. However, I liked it more than Set on You. So yeah, I feel like this first instalment in the Kindle Clearout project has gone pretty well because we didn't get anything lower than a 3 stars, and I have cleared 3 books off my Kindle, which is obviously great. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them, and let me know as well if you have any ideas or preferences for what I should do for the next instalment of this series. I was thinking of switching things up and doing maybe a thriller reading vlog because I have a lot of thrillers on my Kindle that I need to clear out, but I also have plenty of romances and contemporaries, so I'm kind of easy as to what I do next. I'm mostly just interested in clearing out my Kindle books regardless of the genre, but I think I am going to wrap things up here. So thanks for watching. If you made it this far, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and click subscribe if you would like to see more videos from me, but otherwise I will see you next time. Bye!